Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our August monthly training. Our topic this month revolves around the different types of email communication tools available within the SalamanderLive system. The content I will be covering will brush over features at a high level, so if you're unfamiliar with those features, please feel free to ask or reach out afterwards and I can point you to some resources that can help you get started. As always, our free monthly training calls are recorded and will be posted in Salamander University and our Salamander YouTube channel so you can review it as needed. So in Salamander Live, there are 5 areas that allows you to send email notifications. You're going to see it from the welcome profile, from the people list, from the deployable equipment list, the plan roster, and event roster. So I'm just going to go through each one of these one by one. So once you're logged into Salamander Live, the first area is going to be the welcome profile. So under the welcome profile, if you click on that, it should take you into your user profile. The user profile is going to contain some of your information that was set up by your administrator under your secure user account. You'll be able to see what products you have access to, as well as your roles and permissions that were assigned. But underneath the profile area, you're going to be able to subscribe to active subscriptions. Okay, so this is an email function that if you sign up to receive email alerts, you can sign up to get them from your primary organization or all alerts. This is a feature that's available for those that are subscribed to the asset management feature only. Okay, and not only that, you'll only get these alerts if you are setting up alerts within your equipment database. Okay. So the alerts, they look like this. I actually get some on a daily basis. Then you're going to see it look just like this. Here's an example. So these are alerts that were set up in my training account. And you'll see it's for today's date. So these are sent out once a day, usually in the morning around 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning. And then you'll see the organization, the piece of equipment is from, the item name, the alert type, the description, and then any notes. Okay. So this is all set by you or other users in the account for a piece of equipment. So I'm going to take you quickly over to that so you can see that information. So right underneath the equipment database, if you go into a piece of equipment, I'm going to clear all real quick here. You can go into a piece of equipment. Into that piece of equipment, you'll be able to see down at the bottom, there's going to be an alert section. Again, this is only activated and available to you with a asset management subscription. From there, you're able to manually add alerts. So you can click the add alert option, enter the alert type, the date, the description, and if you want a reoccurrence. So if you set up a reoccurrence, the reoccurrence, you'll see in here, I've got a reoccurrence in here for every month to change the battery. And so you'll get this once a month. You'll see it. I started this on the, you'll see it much further down here on December 1st, 2023. And then you'll see in here every single month from here, you're getting a alert notification every single month. Okay. So that is the alert notification. Again, this is just basically how you can set up a task or notification to complete complete something for this piece of equipment. Next on here is the people list. Under the people list, so if you go to people here, there are 2 areas that allow you to send emails. One is by clicking on a person that has an email associated to their record. If you click on any of these records right here, you can click on more than one if needed. If you click on 1 or 2 records, you'll see that at the very top, there's these 2 icons in the middle. The 4th icon is the email people. So again, to email, you got to make sure that in the record itself for that person, that there's an email address that's been captured. What you can do is you can email someone. This is just as if you're emailing from Outlook, Gmail, except this is coming directly from Salamander Live notifications. So in here, you could put in your subject line and then your body, your message. And then down here, it'll tell you who was selected and who the email is going to. And then simply click send. Once that email is sent, the person's going to receive that on their end. It's going to look like this. So again, this is all coming from Salamander Live notifications. See at the very top there. And there's your message. One thing to note about any of these email notifications that you're getting from Salamander Live, whether they're from the alerts notification, they're from this, is that you cannot respond, or you should not be responding to these. These are, if you try to respond, it's going to us here at Salamander Live. Down at the bottom of every email, there is who sent it. And then there's a link to their email. So that's what you want to click if you need to respond to something. Under the people list, the other option to send out an email is this third option called email credential. So all this really is the ability to send someone their credentials. So instead of printing off their ID cards, or maybe you don't have your printer yet or your printer's down and you need people to have something to get scanned in or checked in during an event, this is a temporary way that you can provide them their barcode. So the email itself, again, comes from Salamander Live notifications, and it's going to say credential. And it's going to look just like this right here. So in the email itself, it's going to tell you it's a credential issued from, so it's going to show their organization, their name, their email address, their birth date if captured in their record, their ID number. This is a barcode, a linear barcode of their ID number. We do not use this, but if you do and are able to scan this in other system, feel free to. But what we're really looking at is this QR code. So this QR code is very similar to the QR code that is printed off on the actual hard card ID. This one here doesn't actually have an expiration date or issue date with this one. Okay. It's going to have this, the same or similar information. So if you scan this through the Track app itself, it'll always pull the newest information. Now, if you scan this through RapidTag, it's going to have the encoded information in here. So whatever was updated in that person's record at the time of when this email is printed, that's what's encoded. After this, if you update any of the information, just know that if this is scanned through any of our RapidTag or PC-based solutions, it's going to be static information. So those are the two areas under the people that you're able to send an email notification. The other area is deployable equipment list. So under the equipment database, you'll see that there are two icons at the top here. One is My Equipment. The other is Deployable Equipment. So deployable equipment is controlled by you and other users and how you mark your pieces of equipment. So in the record itself, we're going to go back into the record. If you go into the record and you click on the pencil icon, it's underneath the location tab. Under the location tab, there is an option for you to mark a piece of equipment as deployable. So what this means is that this piece of equipment can be moved to an area that will be used for used to respond or support that incident or event. So as you mark the piece of equipment as deployable, it's going to require you to enter in an address as well as a contact information. Okay. So again, it's just simply by marking that. So if you don't mark it as deployable, none of this information is required. But if you do mark it, it's going to require all this information. The great thing about the address lines within Salamander Live is that as you enter in the address, you'll see that there's matches that's going to pop up in a drop down. Now, if you're using Chrome or Edge, just know that there could be cache data that's populating in a drop down. Sometimes you'll see that with Firefox as well too, but it's mostly with Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Now just make sure that when you're selecting the address, you're selecting it from the drop down where it says powered by Google. That's very important. Okay. Because if you do that, if you select that address, it'll fill in all the information, including county, latitude, and longitude. So in here, when you're adding a contact, even though it only requires the first name, last name, phone number, and that's it, there's also an option for you to capture email. And this is where we recommend that on the deployable side, if you are looking at using the deployable equipment list and making requests through Salamander Live, that you also capture their email address. And here's the reason why. I'll go back on here to our equipment database. And if you click on deployable equipment, this should show, and I'll remove all the filters, every single piece of equipment that's been marked as deployable. Again, this deployable list is read only. So you can't click on this and edit any of the information. But the reason why it's read only is that this deployable list is available for the entire account. So regardless of the person, the user's access, as long as they have access to equipment, they'll be able to see the deployable equipment list. So every single organization within the account, all their equipment that they've marked as deployable. So if you're needing to review and look at this information, just know that there's an edit columns icon top right that you can go in there and review whatever information you need to on that piece of equipment. So whatever has been captured for that piece of equipment, you'll be able to look at it. So if you need category, if you need a contact to first name, last name, email, or you need to look at a cost code, especially if it's a piece of equipment that's reimbursable by FEMA. Okay, so you have your option of adding all this information in. Once done, just click done. And then your columns will be listed here. And you can go through and you'll be able to see this information. Okay. So on the deployable equipment list, you'll see that there's checkboxes next to each piece of equipment. As you click the checkboxes, click on this one right here. If you click on these checkboxes, you'll see that there, oops, sorry, apologize. You'll see that there is a email icon that it appears at the top right. So again, you can only click one at a time. So once you click on one, click on the email icon to request deployable equipment. So what it's doing is pulling in the deployable equipment contact information. So what was saved in that record under the My Equipment list. So it'll show the person's name, their phone number as required, and then it should also have an email address. Again, even though that's not required, we recommend it because this is the email that's going to receive this message. So basically all it's saying that is that I am looking to request the following piece of equipment with ID number Boat Henry, and I'm able to put in any sort of additional information in this box below. Okay, so if this is needed for an event, you need a boat and they have one and you want to request that for utilization, you can send your message right there and then click send. What's going to happen is that person's going to receive the email. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is the email. Again, it's going to come from Salamander Live notifications. You'll see that the subject line is that it'll say equipment request and then the equipment name. So the person's name, it's telling you that who the user is that's requesting the following piece of equipment, okay, with ID number and the name of the item, and then their message at the bottom. And then right here, it's going to say, why did I receive this? So again, this just tells the user or the person that's receiving it, so the receiver, why they're receiving this email. So it just lets them know that they were the contact for this piece of equipment and that if it's incorrect, they have to adjust that within Salamander Live. Okay. Again, don't respond to this here. If they need to respond, they want to click on the link to send the email out. Okay. Any questions so far? Questions? All right, moving on. The fourth area is the plan. So the plans feature is another area that is that does require you to subscribe to the plans feature. So again, that's asset management that requires it for setting up alert notifications and then plans here. So under the plans, a plan is basically a feature that allows you to create a template for your events. So if you are running an event and it's 6 months from now, whether it's conference, it's a festival, concert, um, and you're looking at setting up all the assignments ahead of time and all the details for that, and you have a roster, you're pulling in resources from all over, and you have a list of those rosters, and you want to add them to that plan, you're able to do so. Okay, so I've got just a couple examples in here of different types of plans. Like for example, when we had that solar eclipse earlier in the year, there was a plan that was created just for that. So in here, you'll be able to see that again. You'll be able to just click the new button and then create your plan. So let's take a look at this plan right here. So this is for the North American eclipse 2024 pre-event. You're able to add in all this information, and then you're able to add in a chart. So you're able to create a chart structure by clicking, dragging, dropping the assignment icon over and create this chart. So these are all the assignments that are going to be used for this particular event. Okay, so you can create this chart structure. I'll have all your assignments planned out, and then within each plan and each assignment, you're able to add in details. So there's some details in here, like so for example, down here, I'll just look at traffic north. You can right click, edit, and there's some details that you're able to add specifically for this assignment. So there's a location that allows you to pin this assignment onto the map on the event side. You're able to add in assignment details. So this is specifically for this assignment called Traffic North. So it's telling them to park in Zone B. They have to check in the transit check-in station. They need to report to this individual right here. So that's just specifically for those that are going to be assigned here. And below is your resources. So resources, you can have people, equipment, and or collections. Okay. So why is this information important? Because in here, there is this plan roster. So this roster, what this includes is everybody that, or every person that has been added to this plan on the chart side. Once they've been added, their name will be listed on the roster. And why is this important? Because this can be pulled out into a report, or you're able to email these individuals details about this plan or about this event. So as long as they have an email associated to their record, you're able to email them. Okay. So let me add a person in here that actually has a true email address. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to add in the person. Okay. Add two individuals in here. Clicking the back button, going to the roster, just so I have an email in here that has that will receive an email. So these are all just, again, dummy email addresses. So I had to add one in here that I can actually send a notification to. So you'll again see these check boxes to the left of the record. If you click on the checkbox, you'll see that there's an email icon that appears at the very top here. So again, you can click and add all the different columns in here. I recommend adding the email address column just so you can see who has an email address. Again, if everybody has an email address, you can do a select all, send it to everybody at one time. Okay. So I'm just going to select this individual, and then you can also select this individual. Even though this doesn't have an email address, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you click on the send email. So if you click on send email, you'll see here's the summary. What is the summary for the event that you want them to know about? Okay. And then what is the special instructions? So very similar to the assignment details where you're adding in those instructions for those individuals that assigned to that specific assignment. This is for the event itself. So everybody gets this information. So it's going to, if you need everybody to bring their Salamander credential, if they're all going to meet at one central location for check-in, if they're all needing to park in a specific area, this is instructions that you can provide for everybody. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to save and send. Okay. So in this case, anybody that doesn't have email obviously is not going to get it. So I already know that Richard Blackmore here is not going to get it because there's no email address assigned to him. But the email, once you get it, it's going to look like this. It looks very similar to the credential one, except there's more details. So here again, it's coming from Salamander Live notifications. In the subject line, you're going to see it's a plan communication. It'll give you the name of the plan itself. Down here, plan name again, the organization in which that person is from, the summary, special instructions. So that was sent from this page right here. The send email page is the summary and special instructions. And then the assignment that they're assigned to, the assignment location. These are all clickable links to show exactly where that's located. And then this is the details, instructions specifically for that assignment. And then the person's name, and then their QR code. So again, they have the option when they are added to a plan, once the plan is activated and becomes an event, this individual can use this QR code from this email to get checked in. Obviously, they can use their hard card credential as well, but this is another option. So again, that's what I was saying. It works very similar to that credential that was emailed from the people side. Again, any email that's sent out from Salamander Live notifications, make sure you're not replying. Make sure you click on the person's email that's down at the bottom and who it's sent from. And that is the plan email. Questions so far? All right. Last but not least is on the event side. So on the event side, this will list all of your active events or ended events. Okay, so I've got a couple that's still running in here. So if we look at this test event here, and let me look at an event here that actually has people with email addresses. Let me go back to my fireworks celebration. Let's see here. Just needing someone with emails. I have to go back to an older event in this case. Let's do Hurricane Pete. Let me have some people in here. All right, and nobody still. Check this one here. Perfect. All right, so what we're really looking at is the event dashboard, and we're looking at the roster tile. Okay, so on the event side, there's two different types of dashboards. One that's the standard, and one that's the standard plus Events Pro. So Events Pro is a feature that you do have to subscribe to in order to get these additional functionality on the event dashboard. So events include, so just the standard plan includes weather, you'll include the map, you'll have the burn down, and you'll have a basic chart. So that's what everybody gets. But with Events Pro, you get the advanced chart structure. So what this means is that you're able to create a chart and you're able to add in assignments. So, and you're also able to edit these assignments. So very similar functionality to what you can do on the plan side, except this is now for a live event. So you're able to, as an administrator back end, add in people, check in people right from here. You can check in pieces of equipment. You can check in a piece of or a collection. You can move them. Okay. So that's what the Events Pro offers on the chart side. You also get with Events Pro the resource timer. So what this is just a feature that allows you to set up a timer for all your people. Maybe they're set to only work a specific number of hours, and you want to mark that on here. Maybe there's no overtime that's allowed due to the budget, and so you're cutting hours. Everybody's can only work a maximum of 8 hours for this particular event for that operational period. Okay, so in this case, you're able to go in here and set up those timers. Okay, so just simply click on the Add a Resource Timer. The other option or the other functionality is the roster tile. So the roster tile really serves three purposes. One is showing everybody that's checked into the event. So that's going to be people, equipment, and collections. It's going to show their last updated assignment and time. So if they were checked in, they were moved to a new assignment, you'll see that information. The second function in here is emailing. So anybody that has an email in here, you'll see that there's got to be an email in here. You are able to email people, very similar to on the people list when you're emailing them from the people list, except now you have the ability to look at just for your roster who's checked in so far instead of, let's say their radio's down and they're not responding to text message, you could send them an email. So again, it's just another functionality, a way of you to communicating with all your responders here. So simply all you're doing is clicking that checkbox. If you click more than one, you'll see that you're able to email multiple people at one time. So you'll see here it says email event. All you do is click on this. I actually won't email her. It's my marketing director. I can email event, subject line, and then body. So I can do my subject line. Okay. And you'll see it's sending to and then the email address. And they do is click send. The email you'll see it looks very similar to the one that was sent earlier through the people list. Except this time it's going to say event communication. So in the subject line it says event communication, and then it's going to have your subject line test. That's what I wrote. And then you'll see in here the event name, the organization. So this is the organization that's running this event. So who started this event? The person's name, the message. Again, you'll want to respond by clicking the email address, not on the reply at the top there. Okay. Now I know you've probably seen this plus button right here. This plus button right here is just for editing of time. So it allows you to manually enter in a date and time log for a person. So this is to basically fix someone's check-in time, check-out time, or miss check-in for a specific assignment. Okay. So that's a third feature in here for under the roster tile. But since we're talking about email communication tools, this is how you can do it by clicking email event. Now, all the email communications that are sent through Salamander Live, you'll be able to see them on the home dashboard. So if I click on the home dashboard, there is a tile called recent communications. If you do not see this, click on your tiles menu, top right, and you'll be able to add it from there. So I already have it here. I've got all the tiles. That's why it's listed here. But it's this recent communication. So as you're sending out, or you or other users in the account is sending out email notifications through all the different methods, you'll see them listed here. And I'll also show you if it was read at all by any of the individuals. So a lot of these were read, some of them have just been sent. And if you click on these, you'll see that your mouse cursor, if you move your mouse cursor on top of it, it turns to that pointer finger. It means that they're all selectable. So for example, if I wanted to show, see a preview of what was sent out for this event email, I can click on it. So this is available to everybody that has access to Salamander Live and access to the home dashboard. So you'll see that they can read the message right there, what was sent out. So if there was an email request, or I'm sorry, equipment request, they can look at that as well too. What was requested. Any questions on what was covered here for email communication tools in Salamander Live? Okay. Now I know in the future we probably will have some additional communication tools available within Salamander Live. I know that there's been a lot of requests for text messaging and such. Those might be features that will be available in a much future release of our new version of Salamander Live. So any questions before we end today's call? Nice, short, and sweet. No questions? All right, everybody. Well, here is my contact information. If you have any questions on the content that was covered today, please let me know. Please reach out. You can either call or email your questions, and I'll be glad to answer them. Other than that, everybody, thank you all so much for joining me. Hopefully, you guys will join me next month. Next month's training is on the asset management feature. So that's going to happen on September 18th and September 24th. So hopefully all of you can join back again. We're going to cover everything regarding asset management, which we will be reviewing the alert notifications again during that time frame. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Take care now.